We grow by law, not by trickery or games. There is no fast pill to success. Success leaves clues, and success comes by doing things in a certain way. Okay, we're continuing the reading of As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I'm Carla Elizondo. Welcome to Inside Talk Show. We're continuing chapter 1. We dove in just the intro and a little part of chapter 1 entitled Thought and Character last show, but we're going to continue and finish chapter 1. So here goes. Man is a growth by law and not by a creation of trickery, and cause and effect is an absolute and undeviating in the hidden realm of thought as in the world of visible and material things. A noble and godlike character is not a thing of favor or chance, but is the natural result of continued effort in right thinking, the effect of long-cherished association with godlike thoughts. An ignoble and bestial character, by the same process, is the result of the continued harboring of groveling thoughts. You pick up on that? So a noble and godlike character, somebody who's noble, is not a thing of chance. It's just not a thing of chance. When you see somebody who has a noble, godlike character, it's like, wow, they're really winning. That doesn't mean that they're lucky or that it's an accident, what James Allen is saying. But it's a natural result of continued effort in right thinking, controlling your thoughts, not controlling every thought that comes in because we can't do that, but choosing which ones we get emotionally involved with. We do have control of that. It doesn't seem like we do. We're not taught that we do, but we do. And by your ability and capacity, by your skill to control the thoughts that you're going to keep and which ones you're going to toss out and give no attention to, will be the quality of your life. If you're miserable and you're in pain, it's an indication that you are not in control of your mind, of your thoughts. All right, so a noble and godlike character is not a thing of favor or chance, but it is the natural result of continued effort in right thinking, the effect of long cherished association with godlike thoughts. An ignoble or bestial character, by the same process, is the result of the continued harboring of groveling thoughts. So somebody who is not noble and is just animalistic, who is just very reactive and, we say acting a fool, they're like that from a similar process, but just in the opposite direction. It's the result of continued and holding on to thoughts of a really low nature. Man is made or unmade by himself. In the armory of thought, he forges the weapons by which he destroys himself. He also fashions the tools with which he builds for himself heavenly mansions of joy and strength and peace. We make ourselves. Our thoughts are powerful weapons. He's using an analogy. And what we can either use them as weapons or tools. Weapons to destroy us or tools to build. So James Allen is using this analogy, which is so powerful. We make or break ourselves. Our thoughts can either be weapons to destroy ourselves or tools to build us up. I use this example all the time of, think about our higher faculties, our mind, our intellect. We can do a lot of damage, and we see people do it all the time. I see it myself. When I'm tired, when I don't get the proper nutrition, when I surround myself with things that aren't that positive, that are bestial and low, like we read about. Think of every single thought as either a weapon or a tool. Say that this is, Michelangelo used this to sculpt the David. Say it's a beautiful sculpting tool, and this end is extremely sharp, and this is the handle. Well, if we want to use it as a tool properly and carve and build beautiful things, this is the metaphor of thought, we hold it by the handle and we carve beautiful thoughts. We build beautiful things, which in turn make us feel a certain way. Or we're holding it by the blade, by the sharp end, and we're destroying ourselves, and we're in pain, and we're cutting ourselves up. That's how we use imagination, by the way. Imagination is one of the most powerful, effective, highly effective tools of our intellectual mind. It's our higher faculty, one of our higher faculties. Imagination is the one faculty that we destroy ourselves with most. If it is a tool, because it is, imagination, it is a higher faculty. It's a tool to be used to build, hold it by the handle and build with the sharp end, wield with our imagination what we want. But what do? We hold imagination by the blade and think about the worst possible things that could happen. For example, we use our imagination to fear and to have anxiety about the future. Oh, they're 5 minutes late. They're dead in a ditch. They looked at me sideways. Oh, they must hate me. They're not my friend anymore. That's how we use our imagination. Our imagination runs wild with us rather than us holding imagination by the handle and we wield it. We control the tool. We don't allow it to be a weapon. It's very powerful. All right, so he's saying we're made or unmade by our thoughts, depending on how we wield them. We can destroy ourselves or build beautiful mansions. By the right choice and true application of thought, man ascends to the divine perfection. By the abuse and wrong application of thought, he descends below the level of the beast. Ooh. By the right choice and true application of thought, man ascends to the divine perfection. So when we use thought, when we control thought, we can ascend to divine perfection. But the abuse and wrong application of thought, the ignorant not knowing, the laziness of not putting effort into what we think about, we descend below the level of the beast. We're seeing that a lot. I've seen that in my life. I am the number, everything I teach and everything I say, and not just me, but everybody you ever hear, whatever they're preaching, it's because it's the lesson that they have learned or are learning or still need to learn. Between these two extremes, there are the grades of character, and man is their maker and master. All right. Of all the beautiful truths pertaining to the soul, which have been restored and brought to light in this age, none is more gladdening or fruitful of divine promise and confidence than this, that man is the master of thought, the molder of character, the maker and shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. As a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the lord of his own thoughts, man holds the key to every situation and contains within himself that transforming and regenerative agency by which he may make himself what he wills. You know, back in the day when there was a manor, a house, a household, and there was the lord of the manor, and it had servants. You have to be the lord of your own household. Your thoughts are your servants. As a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the lord of your thoughts, you hold the key to every situation and contain within yourself that transforming and regenerative agency by which you make yourself what you will. Man is always the master, even in his weakest and most abandoned state. Man is always the master, even in his weakest and most abandoned state. But in his weakness and degradation, he is the foolish master who misgoverns his household. So we are always the master, even in our weakest state. But even in the weakest state, we're a foolish master if we misgovern our household. When he begins to reflect upon his conditions, and to search diligently for the law upon which his being is established, he then becomes the wise master, directing his energies with intelligence and fashioning his thoughts to fruitful issues. Such is the conscious master, and man can only thus become by discovering within himself the laws of thought, which discovery is totally a matter of application, self-analysis, and experience. That's why it's so important to go within. Life is truly an inside job. Life happens on the inside and is reflected on the outside. We have it so twisted. We believe without a doubt, and we are taught to, that what we see is truth, that what we see as the Kardashians would call his Bible. I don't watch that, but I think that's funny. We are taught to believe that what we see is the truth, and to deny it or to turn your cheek away from it, you're being foolish and illogical, and you are just a naive dreamer idiot. We believe that what is here is truth. The bigger truth with a capital T is what made all of this outside. It's what's inside here first. So this is where it starts, and that's why we must go within. Everything you see with your peepers, every material thing, was first a thought. It was imagined, got emotionally involved with, and then someone took action to produce it. Every single thing, this pen, this book, the words in this book, everything, this mouse, everything was first in the unseen. Then it became manifest in the seen. So the real world exists within. Okay. So we must go within. Only by much searching, going within, and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and man can find every truth connected with his being if he will dig deep into the mind of his soul, and that he is the maker of his character, the molder of his life, and the builder of his destiny. He may unerringly prove if he will watch, control, and alter his thoughts, tracing their effects upon himself, upon others, and upon his life and circumstances, linking cause and effect by patient practice and investigation, and utilizing his every experience, even to the most trivial everyday occurrence, as a means of obtaining the knowledge of himself, which is understanding, wisdom, power. In this direction, as in no other, is the law absolute, that he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. For only by patient practice and ceaseless importunity can a man enter the door of the temple of knowledge. I love James Allen. If you look, you will find. Seek and you shall find. If you knock, if you go in and knock, the door will be opened. It will be revealed to you. It always is, but we don't know how. We're not taught to. We're scared to. We don't think it'll work. It does every time. Your higher self, God within, never fails. God is law, and law never fails. Think about gravity. If you have, and I don't blame anybody for having issues when it comes to God or to higher power, switch it out. Don't miss the only opportunity you have to control your life by being afraid of the higher power God issue. Because if you don't have that right, you will never, prove me wrong. I've tried it. People have. We must acquiesce to the greater law, the power, the presence that is keeping us alive, whatever that is. So I think of God as law. It's as impersonal as electricity. Electricity does not care. It'll power on anything. We can create anything we want. I'm just realizing that my microphone isn't plugged in, so the sound is probably crappy. We can create whatever we want. So I was talking about, God is law. Just think of God as impersonal as gravity. Gravity never fails. Neither does going within and asking. So I hope you enjoyed that. We will continue the reading tomorrow, chapter 2, James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. I will see y'all tomorrow.